All right, Los Angeles Lakers fans, let's break down the situation with Cam Thomas and the Lakers roster moves in a way that really puts things into perspective. A few months ago, the Lakers made the decision to sign Kobe Buffkin, and it stirred up quite a bit of chatter among fans. Many people were hoping the team would land someone like Cam Thomas instead, a player known for his scoring bursts and dynamic offensive ability. Personally, I can understand that sentiment. Cam Thomas has the talent to light up a scoreboard, and Lakers fans were excited at the prospect of adding another offensive weapon to the lineup. The reality, though, is a bit more complex than just picking the flashiest scorer available. Leading up to this, the Lakers were reportedly interested in Cam Thomas, reaching out as soon as he was waived by the team he was previously with. Timing, however, was everything. Thomas ultimately chose the Milwaukee Bucks, a move that many in the Lakers community questioned at the time. Fast forward a few months, and the Bucks have now waived Cam Thomas, which once again highlights the idea that player-team fit and timing are critical. Cam Thomas is a young player, just turned 24, and he believes he is destined to be a superstar. The problem is the reality doesn't always align with personal belief. Analysts and former coaches have compared him to a Lou Williams-type player, someone who can score in bursts but doesn't necessarily fit into a full-system two-way role. Thomas has expressed that he wants to be more than that, but the challenge lies in understanding how to maximize his potential within a team structure. When Thomas joined the Bucks, it seemed like an opportunity for him to earn significant minutes, but the reality was different. On the Lakers, he would have likely taken on the same type of role he is now trying to avoid, coming off the bench, limited minutes, and being asked to score in a very focused window. At 6'3" and undersized by NBA standards, his strengths are concentrated in his scoring ability, particularly when he gets hot. He can put up points at an elite level during stretches, but the rest of his game, defense, playmaking, and system basketball, is not as developed. This is where the distinction between raw talent and team utility comes in. Without embracing a role that suits his skill set, a player like Thomas risks falling out of the league entirely, facing the reality that being a specialist scorer is not always enough to secure a long-term NBA career. The Lakers, on the other hand, are in a position where team fit, two-way play, and athletic versatility are prioritized. Kobe Buffkin, the player they signed, offers a combination of size, athleticism, defensive capability, and scoring that makes him a more sustainable piece for the team. While Cam Thomas could certainly provide scoring off the bench, his inconsistency and one-dimensional nature make him a riskier acquisition. The Lakers have benefited from having healthy rosters and young contributors stepping up, which allows them to focus on players who can impact both ends of the floor and maintain a team rhythm. In comparison, Thomas's approach of taking high-volume shots without the same defensive contributions might not have aligned with the Lakers' vision, particularly in playoff scenarios where efficiency and team balance are key. Looking at his performance with the Bucks, the numbers illustrate why teams are cautious. In 18 games with no starts, Thomas averaged 16.6 minutes per game, shooting below 44% from the field and struggling from three-point range. While he can have explosive scoring nights, his overall efficiency and consistency have been lacking. He attempts a high volume of shots in limited minutes, which inflates his scoring but doesn't necessarily help the team in a sustainable way. Comparisons to veteran scoring specialists, like Lou Williams, emphasize that players in this mold can thrive if they fully embrace the sixth-man role and accept coming off the bench. Thomas has yet to fully accept that structure, which explains some of the challenges he has faced since leaving his previous team. Another important factor is the perception fans often have versus the reality of professional basketball. It's easy to highlight a 30-point game or a streak of scoring brilliance, but every player has off nights, inefficiencies, and moments where they fail to impact the game positively. Cam Thomas is no different, and those inconsistencies are part of being a young player still developing in the league. Coaches, front offices, and analysts take those elements into account, understanding that a single impressive game does not erase patterns of underperformance or inefficiency. The Lakers' decision to go with Kobe Buffkin over a high-variance scorer like Thomas was rooted in long-term planning, defensive balance, and roster health, rather than chasing highlight reel performances. It's also crucial to recognize that player fit within a system is more important than raw scoring potential. Thomas's desire to be a primary offensive option and to control minutes may clash with the type of team he joins, especially a contending team that needs cohesion, defense, and efficient shot distribution. The Lakers, aiming to maintain a competitive and balanced squad, likely considered how a player like Thomas would integrate with the current roster and what impact he would have on rotations and team chemistry. Signing Buffkin provides more predictable contributions on both ends, which, while less flashy than a high-scoring specialist, supports long-term team success. Finally, it's worth noting that many young players encounter this same crossroads in their early careers. Talent alone does not guarantee stability in the league. Embracing a role, developing skills beyond scoring, and fitting into a team system are what determine longevity. Cam Thomas's situation exemplifies the challenges of balancing personal ambition with realistic career progression. Teams will always weigh immediate impact against potential, and those who can align their talents with team needs often have more sustainable careers. For Lakers fans, this context helps explain why the choice of Kobe Buffkin, while initially unpopular with some, may ultimately make more sense as the season progresses and the team continues to perform at a high level. Continuing with the analysis, it's important to dig deeper into why the Lakers' approach with Kobe Buffkin makes more sense strategically than chasing a high-volume scorer like Cam Thomas. One of the biggest factors is team chemistry and the balance between offense and defense. Buffkin brings versatility, athleticism, and defensive instincts that Thomas simply doesn't offer at the same level. While Thomas can score in bunches, he is inconsistent, and relying on him to produce in key moments could create instability in rotations. For the Lakers, who are aiming for a deep playoff run, having a player who can contribute on both ends while blending seamlessly with the roster is more valuable than a flashy scorer whose impact fluctuates game to game. In the modern NBA, teams that prioritize balance, defensive schemes, and consistent role players often outperform teams that rely solely on high-scoring specialists. Looking at Cam Thomas's career trajectory, it's clear that his potential as a scorer is significant, but the limitations in his game are equally evident. He thrives in situations where he can shoot freely without much defensive responsibility or playmaking duty, but that environment is rare on competitive teams. His stint with the Milwaukee Bucks highlighted these challenges. Despite moments of brilliance, he struggled with efficiency and consistency, averaging under 44% from the field and shooting poorly from three-point range. These statistics aren't just numbers. They reflect his struggles to adapt to a structured system and to contribute in ways beyond scoring. In contrast, Kobe Buffkin offers a more complete package, someone who can score, defend, and create opportunities for teammates, even when he's not lighting up the scoreboard. That type of player provides stability and reliability over the long run, which is crucial for contending teams. Another critical aspect is the perception versus reality of what fans see versus what teams value. Fans often focus on highlight plays, high point totals, or explosive performances, but front offices and coaching staffs evaluate consistency, defensive impact, basketball IQ, and fit within rotations. Cam Thomas's high-scoring games can create excitement, but those performances do not necessarily translate into wins if they come at the expense of efficiency or team cohesion. The Lakers' decision to prioritize Buffkin over Thomas reflects a long-term perspective, emphasizing players who can contribute sustainably, maintain defensive integrity, and perform in a system that maximizes everyone's strengths. The emphasis isn't just on one game or one streak, but on the overall impact over an entire season and into the playoffs. Buffkin's presence on the team also addresses the Lakers' need for positional flexibility. His ability to defend multiple positions, run in transition, and contribute across various offensive sets gives the Lakers more options in rotations. While Thomas could provide scoring, he is limited in other areas, meaning the team would have to adjust rotations or sacrifice defensive schemes to accommodate him. For a team that relies on athleticism, defensive switches, and balanced scoring, these trade-offs are significant. By choosing Buffkin, The Lakers avoid those compromises and maintain a more cohesive roster that can adapt to different game scenarios and opponents. This flexibility is crucial as the season progresses, especially when facing playoff-caliber teams that exploit weaknesses in depth, defense, and role clarity. It's also worth considering how young players develop when placed in the right environment. Cam Thomas, if he had joined the Lakers, might have struggled to accept a limited role coming off the bench and playing within a system that restricts high-volume shooting. Young players often need guidance, mentorship, and opportunities to refine other aspects of their game beyond scoring. Kobe Buffkin, by contrast, has shown the ability to integrate into the Lakers' system effectively, contributing across multiple facets of the game. The Lakers have historically been successful in cultivating young talent that complements the team's needs, and Buffkin fits that mold more naturally than a scorer whose style demands individual volume over team strategy. Furthermore, examining Thomas's playing style highlights why he is categorized as a Lou Williams-type scorer. These players can create scoring bursts and deliver high point totals in short stints, but they often struggle with defensive responsibilities, playmaking, and adapting to structure rotations. Williams, for example, became successful by embracing a sixth-man role and learning to maximize his scoring within limited minutes while contributing to team dynamics. Thomas has yet to fully embrace that mindset. Without accepting a role that prioritizes efficient scoring off the bench and understanding the team-first mentality, he risks inconsistency and professional setbacks. This reinforces why a team like the Lakers, who focus on balance and sustainability, opted for Buffkin over chasing a high-variance scorer whose ceiling is exciting but whose floor poses risks. The statistics from Thomas's recent games further illustrate these points. Averaging around 16 minutes per game, with limited efficiency from both the field and three-point line, he demonstrates the challenges of transitioning from a high-volume scorer on a weak or young team to a more structured, competitive environment. Even when scoring bursts occur, they're often offset by missed opportunities, lack of defensive contribution, and inconsistent team impact. In contrast, players like Buffkin, who can contribute steadily across multiple categories, provide the Lakers with a more reliable foundation for both regular season success and playoff competitiveness. This distinction between raw scoring ability and all-around contribution is a critical factor in building a contending roster. Lastly, the Lakers' approach underscores the importance of foresight in team construction. Signing Buffkin is a forward-looking move, emphasizing a player who can grow into a more significant role while supporting the team's defensive and offensive frameworks. Thomas's allure as a scoring machine is undeniable, but without complementary skills, consistency, and adaptability, his impact is limited. The Lakers prioritized long-term value over immediate scoring flashes, ensuring that their roster remains versatile, defensively capable, and equipped to handle the demands of a championship pursuit. By doing so, the Lakers not only safeguard their performance this season, but also set themselves up for sustained success with young players who could develop into foundational contributors rather than specialists with limited roles. Before we continue, we ask that you leave a like and subscribe to the channel so you won't miss any exclusive Lakers updates. Moving on, whispers are growing louder across the league, and this time they carry the weight of something seismic. The Los Angeles Lakers are reportedly preparing a bold and audacious move that could reshape the balance of power in basketball. A potential offer aimed at none other than Giannis Antetokounmpo. League insiders, speaking under strict anonymity, suggest that discussions within the Lakers' front office have intensified in recent days. The vision? To assemble what some are already calling a once-in-a-generation trio, pairing Giannis with two established superstars in purple and gold. While no official proposal has surfaced, the mere idea has sent shockwaves through executives, agents, and fans alike. Sources hint that such a move would require a complex package involving key players, future assets, and perhaps even a third team to facilitate the logistics. Yet within the Lakers organization, there's a growing belief that opportunities like this are rare and must be pursued aggressively. Around the league, reactions are mixed. Some executives view the scenario as unlikely, citing the difficulty of prying away a franchise cornerstone. Others, however, are not dismissing the possibility, pointing to the Lakers' historic ability to attract elite talent and capitalize on moments of uncertainty. For Giannis, the speculation adds another chapter to an already closely watched career trajectory. Known for his loyalty and competitive drive, any suggestion of a potential move, even a hypothetical one, instantly becomes headline material. As the rumor mill continues to spin, one thing is certain. If the Lakers are indeed positioning themselves for such a blockbuster, the implications would be massive. A trio of that magnitude wouldn't just dominate headlines. It could redefine an era. Stay informed exclusively about Los Angeles Lakers news. Subscribe to our channel and hit the like button to keep receiving daily updates. Also, share your opinion on the news in the comments, as your contribution is crucial for the Lakers. Stay tuned for the next video.